Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Miss Monopoly is the new version of the board game where women make more money than men. This is from Laura Abernathy. Sorry, there's a great karate teacher on YouTube called Ian Abernathy. Anyway, from the Daily Mail, Wednesday, 11th September today, 5:17 p.m, so about 6 hours ago. So, Miss Monopoly, you might have heard of it. This is from Hasbro as their latest installment. And yes, it is about how women make more money than men. So I've never understood this push to try and get equality by saying, well then, women should get more. And the way this works is starting cash. So men get 1,500, women get 1,900. Every time you pass go, men get 200 and women get 240. Not sure where these numbers come from, but we're never sure wherever these pay gap numbers come from, are we? And they do even say on their website, well, yes, men can definitely get ahead, and they can beat the women. They just need to work harder for it. So yes, well, men already do that. They already work more overtime. And as we know, if you work, 12% longer, you get paid 50% more. So yeah, or it might be 8 and 40. Yes, we know that. But then what that's going to do is to say, yes, so women get this unfair advantage, and yet men can still win. Men still make more money. Yes, okay, right. In which case now this gap is even bigger, and therefore we have to do even more to try and close it, until eventually men go, no, I'll just tap out. And with this game, then how does it work? Is it based on biological grounds? Could you get it and then just identify as women and get more of the advantages? I mean, surely one of the great things with any games like this is that you can be any player you want, and any RPG as this goes to, is it's a real estate mogul game. It's a role-playing game, so you can play the role of a real estate mogul. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Monopoly has been genderless. It's just down to the players, so it's up to you. It's not trying to destroy families, even though it tends to. But it's not trying to destroy families based on class lines or gender lines, just how it happens. And it was even supposed to be developed as an affront to crony capitalism or corporatism. In fact, some would say it's just an affront to capitalism itself by saying, well, these monopolies take place and then nobody else can buy anything else, because monopolies are then owning everything and they're just sucking the money out of everybody. Obviously, it doesn't allow the option to then start a new game, or just say, well, I'm going to build over here instead and not charge so much so that people can come over here. It doesn't allow for that at all. It's just the rules are set and that's how it follows, and then it rewards some people. So it is closer to corporatism as far as I'm concerned. But nonetheless, yes, men can get ahead as long as they work hard, in which case that then only increases the wage get more, and then more needs to be done. But let's read on. Makers of the game Hasbro said they wanted to celebrate female empowerment, and I am so glad that we're finally seeing the phrase female empowerment instead of feminism or equality, because it isn't equality, it is female empowerment. First time in the history of the game that a new character appears on the front of the box. Yes, because this lady is relatable to the young female, so she has a coffee cup that says boss, instead of this bloke, Monopoly man with a top hat, cane and white moustache, who's clearly relatable to blokes. Not seeing that at all. The idea is that it's a stereotype of a guy that you don't want to be like. So what's this lady doing? Elizabeth Major, I believe her name is supposed to be, the one who supposedly came up with a patent for the Landlord's game in 1904. Well, she did, but then that is supposedly the forerunner to Monopoly. In fact, they say that it is Monopoly, and it wasn't created 30 years later by a bloke. Hasbro does, of course. So Ms. Monopoly is a real estate mogul with a coffee cup label with the boss, while the traditional Mr. Monopoly stands behind her. Yep. Instead of investing in property, players buy things invented by women, like Wi-Fi, chocolate chip cookies, the diabetes, and solar heating. What if it's not? Okay, no. The aim is to celebrate everything from scientific advancements to everyday accessories, all created by women. As they say, that 10% of all current patents are created by women. And so what's Hasbro done to try and celebrate that? Or to try and increase more women to create patents? Well, they've given money to 3 people, say, to female inventors, which is $20,580, which is the amount of Monopoly money featured in the game. They've given them to 3 female inventors instead of trying to get other women to invent. They're giving it to people who are already well on their way. So I don't see how that really helps. I mean, sure, that helps if you just want investment in technology, but not if you're trying to fulfill some demented quota that you've decided to pluck out of the air. They say the traditional jail, taxes, insurance cards remains. It was still easy to pick up the rules, and I like how this has been mocked on Twitter by saying yes, and if you're female playing with a man, then you can just cast false rape accusations and then get be a multi-millionaire just by the suing and the lawsuits and the claving and get it from those settlements. I don't think that's a feature of the game though, unfortunately, because at least then it'll be a bit more lifelike. Then they should also have the option of, yes, this guy's doing really well and you're not. Just marry him, now divorce him, take half his stuff and remove half the other stuff because that went to the lawyer. Jen Boswinkle, Senior Director, Global Brand Strategy and Marketing, Hasbro, said, I failed you, I'm sorry. No, but she meant to. Through the introduction of Ms. Monopoly and the money these young women have received to invest in their future projects, we want to recognise and celebrate the many contributions women have made to our society and continue to make on a daily basis. The game hits shelves in the US in mid-September and hopefully we'll see it in the UK soon. Yes, but again, similar with the even more like gender-neutral things, supposedly, which is school uniforms, and I covered that a while ago at the Priory School in Lewis, and there's another one in Surrey now. So yes, so what is gender neutral? So, there's trousers, as in what men are supposed to wear. So again, you're trying to make females into men. So in that case, you're saying, oh yes, forget about motherhood. Let's all be like the stereotypical man and put all our effort into work. So it's like, well, who's going to take care of the children? Who's going to ensure that they don't have deteriorating mental health? And then they're going to be single. And as we now know from a recent survey, that 1 in 4 millennials claim to have no friends. Well, yeah, what's going to happen to them? Are you really sure this is the way to go? Are you really sure you're going to find meaning in life through money and working yourself to the bone in a career and not maybe with a family? That seems to be, at least historically speaking and accurately speaking, the way that you're going to find meaning. I know Gavin McInnes puts it very, very crudely, saying that women will be happier in the kitchen. But, as I suppose it's more of a hyperbolic meme, that he definitely has a point, at least statistically speaking. And my politics are all for do whatever you want. You've got consenting adults, it's fine. I do have other ideas of what I think should be done and what I encourage people to do, but that's irrelevant here. And when it comes down to, well, okay, so I'm all for everybody's equal and can do what they want. If what people decide to do is to create a family along stereotypical gender lines, then that's all in keeping, because again, that's between consenting adults. And I know that these feminists tend to want to get involved where they're not welcome, which is everywhere, and try and break apart the family and say, oh no, this shouldn't be acceptable because you're doing something that we don't like. They are Puritans in the pure sense of the word, I suppose. But anyway, as always, do let me know what you guys think. Always interested to hear what you guys have to say. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching and have a good evening.